Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be talking about cheek piercings and everything that I went through with them, my update of them, etc, etc. So if you're interested in getting cheek piercings and you want to know all about it, this is the perfect video for you, because although I haven't had them for a year, I feel like I got them twice, by the way. I feel like I'm like really educated about them, so I feel like this is the best video for you to watch. So sit back, relax, take out your notepad so you can take some notes if you want to get your cheeks pierced and you want some dimples like me. Keep watching. My cheeks pierced in November of this year. It was the second time that I got my cheeks pierced. The first time I got them pierced, it wasn't the best experience. The piercer, cheek piercings, you have to have a good relationship with your piercer because they're such high maintenance piercings. And I will always say that they're high maintenance piercings, meaning like your piercer should be, you're going to see your piercer more than you want to. Okay? Because it's so much going on with these cheeks. Like it's an area that moves a lot. You move your mouth, you eat, blah, blah, blah. So it's an area that's prone to bumps and prone to swelling and prone to all of that stuff. So you have to have a good relationship with your piercer. I didn't have a good relationship with my first piercer. It wasn't, I already explained, I made a whole video about it, so you can watch that video if you want to know like what went down with that piercer, but I didn't have a good relationship with him, so I ended up taking my piercings out. Then like a month went by and I just found myself looking at old pictures, old photos, and I'm like, oh my God, I miss my piercings. Like, I've only I've had my nipples pierced. I took them out. Those were fun. They hurt like hell, but they were fun. But I think as I got them when I was 26. I'm 34 now. So as I was growing and getting older and my boobs were changing, because that was when my boobs were really small. And then I got on antidepressants and my boobs just got enormous, like enormous. So the piercings, it just didn't feel right with the bigger boobs for me, so I had to remove them. I had my belly button pierced. It wasn't a good experience. It got infected. The lady literally pierced my belly with shades on, like sunglasses on. Yeah. And I had my tongue pierced like twice when I was like 16. Twice because I wasn't supposed to have it and I was supposed to take it out, and then I got it again because I was a bad gal. And yeah, so this is like my first, like I would say like adult, other than the nipples, adult piercing that I really like love and really like just wanted to keep, and I didn't want to let them go. So a month went by and I'm like, you know what? I want to get my cheeks pierced again. So I got my cheeks pierced at a Soho shop. So she was good. She was great. She did a great job. She really studied my face. It didn't really take much because I already had the holes from the last guy that pierced me. So she kind of just followed that routine of my, followed that line, and she just pierced it like that. She did a good job. When you get your cheeks pierced, you have to have long bars because your cheeks will swell up. And if they swell and the bars are small, that's gonna freaking hurt. So you have to have, I would say like the longest you can have is like maybe like a 24-inch bar. 24. I've seen longer, like on TikTok, I've seen like long bars up to here. It's whatever your piercer gives you, whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever they suggest, but you're supposed to have long bars, and she gave me long bars. And the jewelry that she used, she said it was titanium. And everything was good. I went on about my business and I got my cheeks freshly pierced, and I'll insert a picture of when I got them freshly pierced. A few issues with my piercer, the one that did these. Basically, like over time, she gave me an internal piercing. Now, I don't know if you are familiar with that. If you're like brand new to piercings or you're brand new to cheek piercings, you're like, what's external, what's internal? Internal piercings is basically how the piercing goes on to you. Like, okay, external, you're screwing the ball onto the bar. Internal, you're screwing the bar into the ball. If that makes sense. So she gave me an internally threaded jewelry, and the only issue I had with that was both basically the top and the inside, the bottom can remove. So that was an issue for me because, the bars were super long and my cheeks were, you know, were swollen, they were healing, but I was chomping on them constantly because my cheeks were, they were long bars. And the only issue I had with the internally threaded jewelry is like I had a really small like back piece. It was really, really small. And I ate it because I'm eating, and you know, and I'm eating food or whatever, and it gets stuck, and I swallowed it, and then my piercing comes out. And this happened like a good 3 times at work. First 2 times I caught the ball. I knew how to put it back in. I was like, okay, cool. Third time I actually swallowed the ball, the bar, the back piece. I actually swallowed it. So I hit up my piercer and I'm like, hey, I need to see you ASAP because I swallowed my jewelry and I don't know, I have no other jewelry to like, you know, fix it. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know what to do, and I don't want my hole to close because I paid a lot of money for it. So can you come see me? So at that point she was like, oh, I'm not there today or tomorrow, and you can't go to nobody else, and we can schedule an appointment or something like that. And I just was like, wait, what? This was an emergency, like, not to be like dramatic, but it was an emergency. Like, I didn't have anything, like the piercing, I didn't have nothing to hold the piercing. So what was I going to do? If I would just let it go, it would have closed up, and that's just, why would I want to do that? So I needed to see her at that moment. And she told me when I got them pierced, oh, you can call me anytime. You can text me anytime. You can hit me up anytime, and I'll stop and come to you, or we can figure out a way to meet because it's a high maintenance piercing. She didn't do that. She was basically like, I'm not there at the shop. I'm not going to be there tomorrow, and you can't go to no one else because nobody else knows how to do it. She's saying, but which is a lie, because when I went to her, this other piercer was actually like, oh, I taught her how to do cheeks. And she was like, oh, let me show you. How am I doing? How did I do? So there was another girl that did it. Some reason she didn't want me to go to someone else, and I didn't like that, and I needed ASAP. So what I did, I took a back of an earring back, you know, like the earring backs. I took one of those and I just pushed it. I just cut it because it was kind of long. I cut it and I pushed it on top of the bar in my mouth, and that literally was in my mouth until I ordered new jewelry. Like, I never went back to her. She didn't even hit me up to see if everything was all right. Nothing. Like, I was like, okay, I'm done with these piercers. They're unprofessional. They're unreliable, and I'm over it. Like, I'm tired. Like, I'm not going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And they're not reliable. They tell me that I can come in and they're not there. I don't care. So what I did, I said, okay, Chrissy, these piercers are not reliable. You have your cheeks pierced. You paid money for them. Now you're going to research the fuck out of it, and you're going to do it yourself. So I went to work. I bought piercing books. I know that's so true. I bought piercing books. I researched, I Googled, and I learned how to downsize and upsize my own cheek piercings. Is anybody that you need to be listening to about cheek piercings? It's me. Because I don't go to a piercer. I do it myself, honey, and I do a good fucking job. Okay? Now, so what I did was I did my research on like the size of the bars, the lengths, the size of the balls, just to see what I was working with. So what I was pierced with, I measured it. I think I was pierced with like a 25-inch bar, right? So I wanted to order a whole bunch of bars. There's not a lot of sites, I'm telling you now, that has long bars. It's just, there's not. You can find some on Etsy, and I'll leave the link in my description box. I found like a few jewelry on Etsy that they sell like the longer bars. But I got mine's from, and I have it in here. This is the only place that I literally could order like all my size bars. Hold on. This is the only place where I can order like all my size, like different size balls. Tusla body jewelry since 2006. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Tulsa, Oklahoma. This is the card. This is the only place that I found online. Shout out to Tulsa. I hope I'm saying Tulsa. Shout out to Tulsa. This is the only, literally the only jewelry place online that had all the piercings that I ordered. So I ordered a 22-inch. I ordered a 22 millimeters, 19 millimeters, 16 millimeters, 14 millimeters, 13 millimeters, and I think that's where I left off at. I ordered all those sizes because I knew I was going to downsize, and I knew I wanted my jewelry to be tighter and tighter to actually make the dimple more noticeable And so I'm not biting on my cheeks, because as you know, you're not supposed to keep the long jewelry in for too long. You're supposed to eventually downsize when your cheeks swelling is going down, and it's been about 6 weeks. But it really depends on like the swelling, you know. You could do it before 6 weeks. If your swelling is good and you keep biting on the bar, then you can tell your piercer you want to downsize. So luckily for me, I didn't have to depend on nobody. I just worked with myself, my body, and seen when I felt like it was good for me to downsize. I remember I downsized in a month. I got my piercing in November, and I believe I downsized like December. And I did it on video. Yes, I just realized it. Yes, I did it on video. It was December 11th. I got my cheeks pierced November 11th, and I downsized to a 22 millimeter December 11th. And that was the last time me and you spoke. That was the last time that we left off with the cheek piercings. So after that, so I put everything in my phone because I literally was just documenting this whole process. So I got a mini bump on my cheek December 5th. Oh, I downsized December 1st, not 11th. I got my piercing November 11th. I downsized December 1st. Like I said, you don't have to wait the whole 6 weeks. I was ready. My cheeks were not swollen anymore, and I was biting on the bar, and it was annoying. So I was like, you know what? I'm ready to downsize. And also, remember, I ate that bar, so I still had like the airing back sitting there, so I had to downsize. So I did on camera, and I'll link that video below. Okay, so I wrote a lot of stuff here. So I believe that I was really experimenting. Like, I wanted to see like how low can I downsize it to before it, like, you know. So December 1st, I downsized to a 22 millimeter, and then, oh no, a 19. It was probably a 19 millimeter, either a 22 or 19. I don't remember. But I know December 11th, I actually downsized to a 16 millimeter. And that was too tight at the time. I was like, oh no, I couldn't smile. It was too tight. So then I upsized on December 26th to back to a 19 millimeter. Then I just kept getting bumps like back to back. Now about the bumps. Cheek piercings, you're going to get bumps. You're going to get bumps, period. If you don't get bumps, congratulations. Okay? If you do get bumps, do not run to the ER. Do not run to do not take out the jewelry. Everybody's gonna get bumps. Your mouth is moving, you're eating, you're talking, bumps are gonna happen. They're called bump pockets. They're like little pockets of bumps, of a bump. It's totally 100% normal, okay? I was getting bumps like off and on in the same area that I got a bump the first time I got them pierced. The first time I got them pierced and I got a bump, I took it out because I panicked, I freaked. I was like, what is this on my face? Da, da, da. But as I did my research, like I told you guys, I realized that it just happens. And the only thing you can do is clean your jewelry, soak it, you know, soak the bump, clean the bump, and leave it the hell alone, and it will go away. And it did go away. It came, and then it went, and then it came, and then it went for like a good month. And then one day it just dried up because of this product that I'm going to show you what I used. It dried up and like it was a scab and it fell off, and I haven't had a bump since. I'll insert pictures of the bumps that you're going to see. You're going to be like, oh, it's like pussy. It's like all of that. But I kept saying, I'm not taking it out. I'm not taking it out. I'm not taking it out. You don't understand how bad I wanted to take it out. But I'm like, I'm not taking it out. I'm not taking it out. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. And it passed. I kept like researching and Googling. Everybody kept saying, do not touch it, clean it, leave it alone, clean it, leave it alone, clean it, leave it alone. And I did that, and lo and behold, it literally went away. So that's just my advice to you. If you do get a bump, I'm going to show you what you do to clean it, and then just leave it alone. It will go away. So I clean my piercing with Neil Med's Piercing Aftercare. I clean it with this. I like this because it has like a, you can see how it's kind of dented, so you can kind of like spray up like 1, 2, 3, just like that. So that's why I really like this product, and it really works. You can spray it and then take like a cloth or you know, wipe or whatever and just clean around it, you know, when the crusties start coming. So this is what I clean it with. Now when I get a bump, when I got bumps, this is what took away the bump. I got this from Amazon. It's the Urban Relief Piercing and Bump Salt Unscented Non-Iodized Sea Salt Solution Concentration. Gentle and effective. And this is how it looks. You guys can see that. It's the Urban Leaf Piercing and Bump Salt. Stuff works. What I do, I like to open it, right? I'll open it and I'll pour it like in the top. And then what I'll do is, what you want to do is you want to get some distilled water. It has to be distilled water. Nothing, no minerals, no nothing in it. Distilled water. I got a bottle of distilled water right here from Pure Life, right? What I like to do is I'm going to show you right now. Okay, I'll just take a little bit of salt and I'll just put it like that. All right, I'll take a cap full of the water. I'll pour it all over the salt. Okay. Now, if it's really watery, what you want to do is you just want to add more salt. So I'm going to add more salt because it's still giving like watery. So just going to add a little bit more salt. So you want it to get thick. You want it to turn into a paste. So I'm just shaking it, shaking it, shaking it. And it's turning into a paste right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. But you see how it's like a milky paste. It's not liquid anymore. It's not loose salt. It's a paste. So what I do, I take a Q-tip and I go inside and I just kind of like swirl it around into the solution until it's nice and thick on the Q-tip. You can see how it's nice and thick. And you want to literally, if you have wherever the bump is, push your jewelry out with your tongue. All right. Take the solution, apply it all over the area, the affected area, all over the bump, literally. You can even go like this. You want to make sure it's not falling down, so you want to make sure you really get it pasted on the bump, right? You're going to leave it there all night. Do this at nighttime. You're going to do this at nighttime for like 5 days. It's going to go away. I promise you. And what you could do is, I don't waste it, so I just pour it right back in to the bottle, and it still has like the paste and solution I can use in case I get a bump. That's what I use to get rid of my cheek piercing bumps. That's worked for me, and I'm telling you, like you've seen the pictures, I had bumps, baby, bumps. Okay, nasty looking bumps. But I didn't give up, and I just kept cleaning it. I cleaned it with the I put that on it, and then I also cleaned it with the nail med. Now let's talk about sizing and downsizing and stuff like that. So obviously I told you guys when you first get them pierced, you have to get them really long. You can downsize every month if you want to. You can downsize every month as long as your cheeks are not swollen, as long as you don't have any pain when you downsize. You can downsize as much as you want to. I downsized a lot. I think the lowest I downsized was a 14 millimeter. Smallest that I tried. It was too tight for me. I wasn't ready for it. Cheeks wasn't ready for it. My cheeks was like, girl, take these out. I just wanted to try it. You know, I wanted to see like, maybe I can be a 14 millimeter. Maybe I don't have to do like super long. I can actually create the dimples, but it didn't work. It was too soon. So I had to take them out. Right now what I have a 16 millimeter. 16 millimeter is perfect for me right now. They do not hurt, no pain. I can go like this. You see, I can go like that and I still have space. It's not to the point where I can't even, the jewelry doesn't even come out. So this is a good size for me. It's comfortable. I like it, and you can see dimples now. When I first got it, you couldn't. Now you can see. Yep. You can see dimples now. And I have a 5 millimeter ball. So the diamond is 5 millimeters. I bought two. They have ones with 5 millimeters and they have one with 3 millimeters. So it's not as big, you know, big of a diamond. It's kind of smaller. I really prefer, in my healing process, I prefer like the bigger diamonds. The biggest I had was a 6-inch and that was too big, but I really wanted to try it, and I'll insert a picture because I just wanted to see how cool it looked to like try different size balls, paws. So but me personally, while I'm healing, you know, I haven't made a year yet with my piercings, I want to keep a larger millimeter of a ball or a rhinestone, because when I notice when I have the smaller ones, it kind of sinks into my cheeks, and I don't like that. I get scared that it might, like, you know, pull into my cheeks. Like I can literally push my piercing out and it goes inside. I get nervous because it's so small, and the cheek piercings are so, you know, they're a smaller size. They're tighter on me now. Now, if I had a longer bar, I can have a small little diamond because it's longer. But when you go shorter, to me, I think it's best until you're like fully healed. It takes like about a year, they say, for this to fully heal. For me personally, I think I like a larger ball. So I would go for like a 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter. I wouldn't go to 6. 6 is huge. But like a 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter is good for me. It's not too small where I feel like it's going to go through my cheeks. So I believe this is a 4 or a 5. I'm not 100% sure. I'll link it in my description box. But this is how big it is. I have a bag full of goodies I'm going to share with you guys too. And then you can try different types of, there's so many different types of jewelry. I'm going to link all of that below too. You don't have to just have the basic ball, you know, silver ball. Another thing, titanium. Titanium is your friend. You want to use titanium jewelry, especially when you're healing. I feel like after you heal, you can use whatever you kind of want. But while you're healing, titanium. But anyway, so this is, I would say this is like a, these are like a 5. I think these are like a 5. Yeah, these are like a 5mm. Or they might be 6, 5 or 6, but this is how big it is. I like I said, I like the bigger balls because it is not going to fall into my cheeks. And then I have, I also tried black jewelry. I'll insert a picture there. I had some black ones that I got from Amazon, and I like the black. It's interesting. It's different. It's very rock and roll, and it makes it look like you have even more of a dimple because it's a black, so it looks like a dark dent. So I enjoyed the black piercings also. This is what I used to change my piercings. I use this, and I showed this in one of my latest videos, and I use that. It holds the piercing, so I like that. I hold it, and then I unscrew it. Yeah, so I use that. I don't just use my fingers. If I'm gonna be doing my downsizing and upsizing, I want to make sure I have the right, you know, the right tools. So I use that. This is the smallest ball that I have, and it's a pink one, as you can see. This is the smallest one I had, and this one was really so adorable and so cute, but I was only able to wear that when I had like a 19mm because like I said, it's not super tight. So the tighter, for me, the shorter the bar is, the bigger the ball for me, because I'm scared that it might go in. But like in a year, I'm gonna start trying like smaller balls and stuff like that to see, but that's just my little fear that it might go inside of my cheek. Other than that, when you have your piercing over months, it starts to heal. I have no issues with it. Sometimes I wake up and I'll be bleeding because of how I sleep. So sometimes I'll wake up with like blood, or like it'll be a little bump with blood. But I don't worry about that because it's just pretty much how I sleep. I irritate it and then I sleep on it, so then a little bump pops up. But all I do is clean it, and literally it's gone the next day. Yeah, it's literally going the next day. It's nothing to like worry about. You're gonna bleed. You're gonna find blood, or little bumps with blood because of the way you sleep, and or if you do your makeup, when you take your makeup off. I still do my makeup the same. I don't avoid my cheeks. I do my makeup the exact same since I've been doing my makeup since I started doing makeup. There's nothing different. I know some people, they say they avoid the cheek areas. I don't. I just don't. I do my makeup regularly and I have no issues. If a bump does pop up because of makeup, I just clean it really good and it always goes away, luckily. Obviously I don't cake it in there, but like, you know, I tap it, I dap it. But yeah, I do my makeup the same. I don't have any issues with bumps when I do my makeup. If I do, I put the solution on it and I'm good to go. I'm trying to think of what else I can tell you guys about my cheek piercings. Do not worry about like dentists and dental and stuff like that. Also, if the bar is long, you got to take them out, because if it's long, you can bite in it, you can chip your teeth. You got to be careful. I didn't play that. Soon as I swallowed that bar, I downsized. Like I had to wait for my jewelry to come, but I reached out to my piercer to downsize, but you know the story. But I downsized as soon as I ate the back piece, because I don't, no. So after that, I was like, no, I think it's time for me to downsize. So you make sure that, like I said, it could take a month, 6 weeks, whatever, you downsize, because you don't want to eat or chew on the piercings and hurt your teeth. I've been to the dentist recently that got a root canal. I had no issues at the dentist. My dentist didn't bump into it. My dentist didn't say it's bad for me. The only thing was the dentist assistant was just like, did it hurt? That's so cool. And then in my x-rays, you can see like the bars sticking out my cheeks. But other than that, I had no problem with the dentist when I went. I got my root canal and no problem. The piercings were not in the way. Now, if they were long, they probably would be in the way. But because, like I said, I'm healing, and they're smaller, they're not in the way at all. So I didn't have no issue with that, in case you guys are wondering that. I don't understand why you want to bite me and I'm not doing anything to you. Ow. Why do you want to bite? You want to be on camera? Say hello. Say hello. 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 He wants to bite on my balls. Wait, my piercing balls. My cheek piercings and cheek piercings in general. I love them. They're adorable. I'm obsessed with them. I can't wait to downsize even more. I think the shortest I'm gonna go is probably, well, I'm just gonna keep trying to go short and short until like what I can handle. So I'm a 16 millimeter right now. I'm gonna try to go to a 14. I wanted to wait a year, but in a few months, if I feel like I'm good, then I might, ow! Ow! Get the hell off me. Also, Tesla jewelry, they give you like a nice card. And on this card, it shows you like the jewelry in ball diameters. See, it shows you all of that. Obviously, I would never get this big. So it shows you all the jewelry, the jewelry in ball diameters. Then it shows you the gauges. Then it shows you the gauges right there. And then on the back, it shows you the gauges, so you can like measure your piercing, your jewelry. You can just put it against to see like how thick your gauge is. Yeah, you can put it against here, like your jewelry, to see how thick your gauge is, to see which one matches. Also, you can also measure how long your bar is with the measuring on the side right here. But that is all for this. That is all for this video, guys. I just got off for work and I made this video because it was requested and I am tired, child. I'm so exhausted, but I love you guys very, very much. If you have any questions, leave them below. I will link everything in my description box. Yeah, if you're interested in getting cheek piercings, go for it. I say go for it. Very high maintenance piercing. It's a lot, bumps, this and that. You have to have patience if you want this piercing. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to put it in and have dimples. No. Oh, I'm going to put it in and have dimples and I'll be good. No. You have to be patient, because when you get bumps, what you could do? You're either going to take them out or you're going to leave it in and deal with it. So you have to have patience. Luckily, I had patience and my piercings are perfect now after the whole bump fiasco. I like the way they look, the way they feel. They're great. So yeah, leave a comment below and let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in my next video.